campaigning should build on the successes that INEC has had and find solutions to the challenges that are still being, because whether we like it or not, collation still remains a very, very sensitive issue. A lot of people believe that things do get tinkered in between the polling units and the collation centers, or at the level different. And I know something like that happened in Anambra State in 2010, where a returning officer deliberately, or a collation officer deliberately inflated the figure in one of the local government, believing that it could help. And you know, whatever is announced stays and can only be reversed by the court. But I think that's part of the learning curve that INEC is now trying to make sure that even against the emotions and things that politicians say, they are not pressurized to make wrongful declarations that cannot stand the legal scrutiny. So I think they should be commended, and as directors, I do know that there will be post-election retreat and audit, in which case all these things that are done.
We're still dealing with lectures. We'll talk about the process later, but let me come with me to CPO. Two things, Jordan. First of all, you know, the issue of the synergy between INEC and the police, you know, how is it working, how is it happening in the process, you know. Then secondly, you know, you just spoke about the social media, and that has been a recurring issue. I think on this program we talked about the fact that you have no control over it, but it is an issue of concern, isn't it? Let's talk about that.
It is. Okay, maybe the time, but you know, you ask question about the point I have is that we have got results declared in 19 local governments and 8 affected. It's bonus of concern to us with what's happening in that sub-region of Nigeria. So things are working through there. And that's the synergy between police and INEC. We have a very robust relationship. You know, we are family. INEC cannot go for this event. It's not our partner. But every employer has a nice mail. You have the assistant referee and rest of them. And you cannot apply if you don't have a football field to play. What the police do is to provide, you know, even football field must be smooth. What we do is to provide that smooth football field. When the umpire will now blow the whistle and give them card as the case may be. We meet regularly. In fact, this morning I was with the IG when he was speaking with the INEC chairman about solutions. We deliberate on a daily basis on how to move forward, because our goal is the same. INEC wants to make the democratic process to work. Police job is to promote and protect democracy. So we're on the same page on virtually every issue. Social media, well, it's a new development, sometimes positive, sometimes negative. This morning somebody sent me an SMS which have congratulated a certain governor. I was well. I said that I'm not going to the government. He said, no, open social media. I said, sorry, I don't resort for social media because it's not a verifiable source. It's not authentic. It's not reliable. There's no control. Anybody can be a publisher on social media. You can open a blog and do whatever. And ask people to come and commit suicide on social media and they follow and die. What we say, if we can't control journalism, some countries regulate internet services. They jump some, they block some, they allow some. Nigeria, we are not on that mode right now. We allow everybody to publish, but we are asking people who read to read between the lines. Find out in our elementary Bible study, ask us, somebody said something, who said this to you? On what occasion? Who said it? Is there an authority? If you have authority, you will be circumspect in following what you say. If somebody asks you to go and kill yourself, ask him, have you killed yourself before? If he has not, why does he have to be there? So we should be careful, particularly the younger generation, about what they do on social media network.
Well, let's begin. And would you like to chip in with regards to this issue of social media?
Social media, really, I think we've spoken about that on this platform. Like you said, social media, honestly, we can't take away the fact that it's really taps the democratic process, and it's actually a democratic element too. It serves a lot of purposes.
Let me put this in perspective here. And it's against the background of this current election, not just a matter of looking at it in the general process. So how has it aided this process?
Yeah, it has.
Or worked against it?
Yeah, although, like he said, you can't verify what you have there. But I know that on this election, particularly the presidential results were coming out. I mean, it's not a result for you to begin to go to the public, but it gives you a clue. You know, it puts people on their toes. Even the politicians will patronize it because they want to know what's happening. Because honestly, most of the results you see on social media, polling unit level results. Of course, if we're in the polling unit of the thing is made public to the hearing of everybody. So you can actually take away that, post it anywhere. Well, what I'm saying is, you can set agenda with all of those results. You can begin to share it. And remind you, like he also said, Jesus said, a lot of things happen between the polling unit and the collection centers. So the whole idea of people wanting to take away, making the result public at that level is also to guard against all these changes that happen in between the line and all of that. So I think the social media is one place that you can see a lot of things. The thing there is to read in between the line, because it's not everything you read that you want to act upon. Honestly, you can set very dangerous agendas on the social media. You can post terrible results, like he said, but then the truth is everybody is a general market. Everybody is entitled to go there. But most importantly, it enlightens people. You will take the one that is useful and discard the one that does not help. So it should bother about the one that will unite us as a nation and discard the one that will separate us.
Yeah, sometimes making that decision is a very young challenge. I know, but those are not that I need to engage the social media to a good extent, in the course of, you have a website and all that, and if I have cause to complain that there was an attempt to corrupt the INEC website. That would have been a very good platform for you with regards to voter education. How much did that help you?
Yes, I don't know the website is part of social media. It's online. But yes, you're quite right. We did use social media quite a bit because we have the INEC Citizens Contact Center. And contact us via our Twitter handle or our Facebook account and Instagram as well. So we did engage people and encourage people to come to the official INEC website and social media platforms. If you're not sure, if you've heard anything, please come here. We'll be authentic official results, we have authentic official information, and we also use it frequently as questions and answered questions. The ones my immediate operators could not answer, we escalated them to higher levels, to my level, to the level, the commissioner, to that level, the chairman, to give policy issues, policy answers. All answers were given to the voters who engaged us on this platform. So it's as I said, it's positive news is unimaginable. It's fantastic for us, and we did, and subsequently we will and intend to expand. We did launch an app, for example, and they get updates, get everything. So the online things, social media and other online platforms are being used maximally.
But didn't the dubious results that were circulating make your job a bit more cumbersome?
What my job also makes a job of the security agencies and the different things a lot more cumbersome. Because there are two issues here. One is that people don't realize that these results are unofficial. And when you keep making volume, pressure X one or Y one. So if the official result comes out after full collation, there's a challenge. And don't forget, these polling unit results are not final. They may have been procured as a result of fraud. There might have been something wrong. For example, when there's voting, for example, or when the total number of votes cast is more than the total number of registered people, that's the result that we publish. But by the time it gets to the collation center, the collation officer or the return officer says, no, I'll just cancel it back. You have to understand that when you meet the man and go to this calculator, the man goes and present calculating this, we are leading or we are going to win. These at best are provisional results, but subject to change, subject to ratification, subject to confirmation by superior authorities within the electoral process chain.
We'll still talk about that, but meanwhile, still talking about INEC, let's go to the short story. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has described the governorship and House of Assembly elections conducted in the country as successful. Olai Haujo has the results.
A preliminary report issued by the Chief Press Secretary to INEC Chairman Kayode Idowu indicates that 88.9% of polling units opened for accreditation between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning across the country. Only 5.2% were yet to open as at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Also, 73% of the polling units had commenced voting by 2:30 p.m. INEC says the process of accreditation with smart card reader was also successful in majority of the polling units. The commission, however, admitted initial challenges in Edo and Abia states, but stated that a technical team deployed to support the states were able to resolve the issues. Many parts of the country, INEC says, remain peaceful, although some states recorded significant number of violent incidents. The most affected being Rivers, Akwa Ibom, Cross River, Ebonyi, and Ondo states. INEC record shows that there were 66 reports of violent incidents targeted at polling units, the commission officials, voters, and election materials. In Rivers, 16, Ondo, 8, Cross River and Ebonyi, 6, Akwa Ibom, 5, Bayelsa, 4, Lagos and Kaduna, 3 each, Jigawa, Enugu, Ekiti, and Osun, 2 each, Katsina, Plateau, Kogi, Abia, Imo, Kano, and Ogun states, 1 each. The commission is investigating this incident. INEC commend Nigerians once again for demonstrating their resolve and commitment to participate in the electoral process and deepen democracy. The Commission advises aggrieved persons or groups to seek redress at the tribunal. The Commission reminded all stakeholders that the process is not yet completed and urges restraint in comments as the Commission strives to bring the process to an orderly, peaceful, and credible conclusion. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
Well, thank you very much, Olayinka Ojo, for that report. And well, the INEC Director of Voter Education himself is here, so he probably just add a bit to information coming from INEC about what they think about the elections. And you've spoken over and over again about the fact that INEC feels quite pleased with the process, at least as of now, though you have a couple of conflicting reports from and a couple of challenges here and there. But what issues there is the conduct of INEC officials. And to date, what do you think about them? Can you report the adverse report?
Yes, of course. You don't expect an election such as this not to have adverse reports about the allegations about the conduct of both the ad hoc personnel and permanent staff. In fact, it was the allegations against certain personnel that necessitated some movement and some changes. A lot of them are just what they are, mere allegations, unfounded allegations. Regrettably, we still have a lot of bad losers out there, and they try to impugn the integrity of the process just to prove a point or to satisfy their masters or tell people why they did not win the election. I've never admitted I did not win because I was not qualified to win. But so you blame everybody else for the conversation. So yes, there's some reports. And some actually worth further investigations and will be investigated. Two things here. One, the administrative investigations that we fact find and carry out. And second one will be where those malfeasances cross over into criminality and where the penal provisions of the law should be brought into bear. So this will be examined closely. And as for the other ones, we will just, there's no evidence, of course, we'll completely disregard them. But yes, admittedly, there were some allegations against some of the staff.
Okay, fine. Now let's look at the trend that has been coming in. Let's start with you. We've been getting some results. Is there anything that you would say as essential to the trend that, we're going to look at Oyo State in some detail a bit later because I know that, but that when you see the margin there, it means like, can we zoom into Oyo State and see what we have on the screen to watch Oyo State? Let's Oyo State, so can we see the picture there? Yes. And Oyo State, the results that we have there indicates that Ajimobi of the APC scored 327,310. And next to him was Teslim Folari, who scored 79,019. Did you expect anything close to that?
This is landslide victory for the incumbent governor. Again, I've put the context before. The PDP didn't put his house in order. They allowed some of the heavyweights to leave, and this is the aftermath that we are seeing. Again, don't forget, the Nkuba also did perform to an extent. I mean, one of the key achievements is peace in the state. Unlike before, when big bandage swing, when you cannot be railroad axes going to town. Today, people, nightlife is gradually back in Oyo State. Of course, there were still killings and murders in the lead up to the elections. Isolated cases in Odinjo and a couple of other places. There were harassment, political. But it's not on the scale that Oyo used to be when we refer to it as Wild West. So that notion of Wild West is gradually leaving. But I think this is awesome. This victory is awesome. If the closest person to the winner had less than 100,000, it shows that it's a very huge margin.
What you spoke a lot about performance and all that, but nonetheless, the way you have people like the former governor Laura Kala, former governor Baboba,
Yeah, if you remember when Akala came back, I was surprised when Akala wanted to come back. And a lot of people in the city expressed their surprise too. So I didn't think we were going to make any huge impact. But like you mentioned before, the jinx that has been broken here, but never has somebody, a governor, gotten a second opportunity. Given the cases of Bola is in the together of this area, you understand? The guy was not just a governor, he was more than a governor to that state, but he couldn't get to second term. And this has not happened. But for him to have broken the jinx, I don't think it shouldn't be, it's not only cosmetic. I think the people have good reason to do this. And I think there is issues, there's these issues of there was something this man did. This caused some kind of, this is how the way people do exactly, that's kidnapping them, but you really rooted out, and all those things did a lot of got some attraction to himself. But I think beyond that was also achieved. We all started out in Baba. There wasn't hardly see a overhead bridge or what they call it. But today we have one that crisscross from roundabout out. So these things are innovations that previous governors never thought there's space for those kind of things, but we did it. It also happened in Ogun State. These are things that you simply have to bring in new things to prove yourself. It's like those days where people go to US and they come back with nothing. The people now go to US and come back with a lot of things. People can actually govern and deliver on promises. If you look at governors like Akwa Ibom, you now begin to, or Lagos, you now begin to think that governors can actually deliver on their promises. And this has not really gone around. We're still looking at some other states, recounting what they have achieved on their fingertips. Good governance is not just about road construction. Well, I normally ask, what is it that what is the campaign promise of those in the West, having delivered all of these issues we're talking about? So human development, if we see governors that will go beyond all of these little things they are delivering, I think winning election will not be an issue for them. I think the guy has really seeking people like yourself before, and Nigeria, you can actually make general comments. But it seems to me, we've seen so far from the results we have seen, we've seen actually incubates like we have in Gombe or Yoruba. Incubates seem to have been turned to the others. You think that performance, could have been such a critical factor. Yeah, that is more something around accountability. People are voted into offices to serve the generator of people. But when they serve themselves, members of their family, and result don't show in the public domain, when the day of reckoning comes, those that have the votes, they will give yellow card and even red card to the. Now, if someone wants to remain on green mood, to remain a governor, to have a second term, and if there's room for a third term, education still allows, he might deliver. So people keep asking for him. So as in the case of our state now, all they just said is that, like the music, one record, music released by John Van. He says, "Sing loud, and black and proud." They sing it loud. This man is performing. The gap is just enormous. If it was those days, they said the second person lost a lost deposit. If you look at the guy, like he lost deposit because the percentage is something else. It's incontestable. So if once you perform, people will revert back to you and give you a pat on the back for a job well done and ask you to do it again. And this time you have a higher margin of performance. So it's a good development in our polity that people are held to account for that conduct when the mantle of service was given to them, even if for 1 year.
No, but Thursday, just to stick into the issue of council votes and all that, that we know it was a vexed issue during the presidential elections. I mean, are we hearing reports about council votes during this election?
Yes, of course.
I mean, after the magnitude of
some council votes, but then an issue of Provision of the Act, which says that where for one reason or another elections cannot be held as a result of a breakdown or a likely breakdown of law and order, then you do not conduct the election, you stop, and then whatever happens at the end of the day after tallying, you will now see in those total number of registered voters, whether the votes in those units could possibly have influenced the outcome of the election, or where the electoral act where there's overvoting, where the total votes cast is more than the total number of registered people, or under the inner guidelines where the total votes cast is more than the accredited voters. All those will lead to cancellation of the elections, not the cancellation of the votes, cancellation of the elections, and those the votes that will be voided and will not be taken into consideration in computing the total votes due to either any of the parties there.
Okay, so but we are supposed to you're getting nice. I mean, is it anything to the scale that because sometimes for elections on some levels, such as even the House of Assembly elections, that could be
each unit.
Yes,
You have
yes, that could be a huge problem.
Yes, it can. And coming from a situation where there are literally dozens of requests that certain votes will cancel, certain votes will discountenance, even claims that some elections, even governorship election will be cancelled as a result of violence or allegedly as a result of violence or other things. So people will always ask for this. But when the returning officer has made some pronouncements, that's it seems right.
Okay. Well, just to put some the results from your state in that perspective, right? From the details that we are getting really, APC was first, like we have over there with the incumbent governor, returning governor Azumobi, and Accord Party was second, that is with the former senator leader, Senator Teslim Folari, and third was Labour, while fourth was PDP.
Okay. I think that's very important because what you're telling to do is show APC vis-a-vis PDP scores. I think those are the two parties.
Yes, I mean, yes. So
you must have the right
we don't have the figures here, but one thing because you say we're talking about the disparity being very, very wide about because what we have on the board there is just between APC and PDP. And one thing that I think that CPO Juku stressed over and over yesterday was that it wasn't a two-horse race. That there are so many parties, and I think that for the point of law, we need to always deliberate about this issue. So once again, for the records, the government results actually. First was APC with Governor Azumobi, second was Accord Party, and then third was Labour Party, fourth was PDP. So we'll just move ahead from that. So an issue that I think we have talked about a bit, but just touched on the surface, the issue of money in Nigerian politics. Those dimensions, our first of all start with from the INEC perspective. I think INEC said at one time that money was the problem with regards to your own operations, that you've gotten the funds that you require to the elections. Am I correct?
contextually, we said the issue of release of funds and the sufficiency of funds for the budget work was not a real challenge to the smooth conduct of the elections. Okay. But let's not lose sight of it. Money is important in politics. It is the corrupting influence of money in politics that should be addressed. First of all, you need money. If you're going to contest an election, you need money to prove process. You need money to fuel the vehicle to go for campaigns. You need money to pay for campaign venues. You need money. No two ways about that. But are there some such as your within limits specified in the law? And unfortunately, there's a great misunderstanding about money in politics here. For example, say there are caps, or the government cannot say spend X amount. No. To contest in office, the candidates, there are caps put by the expenditure by the candidates. And it also qualifies the times for it. And I'll give you a practical challenge about the serious issues you can encounter. I intend contesting election next year. I start going to churches and mosques and start donating, start doing what is termed philanthropy. That is not campaign expenditure. Even though it's an attempt to popularize myself amongst people of particular constituency. But you don't start computing campaign finance until after the day you announce, give notice of the election, which is not later than 150 days to the conduct of the actual election. So we have to be very careful about this. And also, it does not talk about expenditure by other people, but the law empowers in it to put a cap as to how much parties can spend, put a cap as to how much individuals or groups can contribute to any political cause or project. But the Constitution has already stated that only political parties duly registered by INEC can contribute to the funds of any candidate or political party. But no sanctions for it. The companies, under the Companies and Matters Act, cannot contribute to the funds of any political party. It's illegal. So you have this scenario now. One of the things that played out this time are groups, non-political groups, campaigning and doing things for particular candidates and political parties. So yes, money is an important thing in politics, the corruptive influence, and then also money coming from abroad. The Constitution forbids money coming from abroad for any candidate or political party.
You know, my story. You see this whole issue the expenditure profile with regards to politicians, and I know that there's been so much controversy about that. And we're talking now about what and then how you determine that the period and all that.
Yes.
But I know that INEC has been, I think that INEC has been challenged about this. There has been a lot of questions about, even INEC's capacity to really give effect.
Yes, to that.
So do you actually have the capacity to even monitor it?
Now there's a serious challenge there. We have established units in the Commission to track campaign finance. But unfortunately, people, as I said, must understand the regulation and must first of all understand the law governing the process. And I listen to programs and people say all sorts of things. There are lots of allegations. But in use of myself, but capacity is a big issue. And then contextually, even with the cashless policy, a lot of transactions are still done by cash, and a lot of political transactions are done by cash. It's very, very difficult to monitor cash expenditure where there's no paper trail. Those with paper trail, yes, you can do it better. And hopefully, with the law in place, and in about 6 months' time, each party must do a special account for their election expenses. And that is one way, reporting, that is one way which we can use. And if they have, although there are no sanctions, once they do that, all we have to do is lay this before the National Assembly.
Okay, fine. Okay, let me bring you in here, Chibuike, about this whole issue of, we talked a lot about the capacity to even monitor the process and even the whole issue of campaign spending. I'd like to hear you out on this.
Honestly, civil society we're trying to do something and find a capacity building for that to monitor political party finances. Our position is a very technical and very difficult thing to do. What we said, we can start it. It is very, very necessary. We must do a it because we know to what extent it's working against our polity. But the truth is not. I honestly, I don't have the capacity, seriously speaking. But what we are doing, even civil society, is we can't just leave it at that. I know you have written some stuff on this topic, but the thing is, where are you going to start monitoring political expenses? I know, like you said, political parties are supposed to audit their finances and to give to INEC. I've seen some of those documents. It's difficult to believe what is contained in them. You understand? For you, if you want to monitor a political party, take the smallest political party. It is what you see you want to monitor. I don't even know if I can come to NTA to ask for questions and you attend to me.
I mean, it's a public institution, so
okay, you can. Okay, let's try. Yeah, you stand up. The private entities, I do not know if they are at liberty to give out the cost implication of the regular, jingles and all of this we see on a daily basis. Of course, if you quantify that even as a ordinary person, quantifying those things, you know that it's running into millions, and that's just one aspect of it. So you can't, and monitoring this is also involved the use of public properties and resources. You know that it involves all of that. From the national to the local. So for us, we see it because we've gotten the training, but the truth is the scope is too high, the scope is too wide, we don't know how to go about it. But we've done something. I think 2011 or 2007 we did something. We actually monitored, but it was a huge challenge. It is really not very easy to do that. Even funding the intervention is also a different thing.
Anyway, I think that this is going to be a very fundamental issue. But let me just first of all hear CPO Juku on things. I don't know what role the police have with regards to this issue.
Well, if a matter is reported before a police station, as regards a case of fraud, or somebody did what ought not to do, or didn't do what ought to do, we'll take it up from there. But let's not be at that. Tell an allegation, we will investigate. Sometimes because somebody said one party spends so much money, I say, is you and they spent? What base are you complaining? They spent money. How much were they supposed to spend? He didn't say. One man said that 1 billion is even too small for a political to spend. Another man said those who spend money are private persons. And think about it. This is a free country. Anybody can run an advert once it doesn't violate any known code. So if you make an allegation, be very much available to put that case beyond every remedy about.
Okay, fine. Did I come to you? But first of all, let me go back director. Can we Katsina State? I think the result of Katsina is coming officially. So okay, so to my right now we have a result of Katsina State, and officially the result as announced officially by INEC. I must stress this. And what we have is the APC with Aminu Masari winning with 943,085 votes, and the PDP scored 476,768 votes. Gentlemen, the PDP has been in power here since 1999. Did we expect a race? Let me start with you.
Well, it's the wind of change.
By the way, this is the state that the president.
Now, I'm happy I'm making this intervention. When TPK was summary on performance, I said it's not the only factor that gets you victory. There are so many. I've been to Katsina. In all fairness, Katsina is working. Under late Governor Yar'Adua, as later president, under Ibrahim Shema, I saw infrastructural development that I never even contemplated could be in that kind of place. When I went there, we have an airport, we have public universities, the road network is, limit. But what have we seen? It takes more than performance. Now the wind of change, and this also brings us to the issue of losers and winners.
But you are
lost in 2011.
Just a minute. Remember the fact that in 2011, the same sentiment about the president was there, and Shema for the PDP, and won.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Aminu Masari lost to Shema in his second
in his bid for second term, Shema defeated him. But then, APC was not a formidable force as we have it right now.
No, but then you had
CPC progressive change.
Yes, and you have the president as a very formidable force there.
Yes, but again, let's look at it contextually. Shema was running for a second term. He was still the incumbent. The PDP was still a very formidable force at the national. So, the Katsina people wants to belong to the center. And the sentiment was that Yar'Adua became president, became governor under PDP. Now, he brought in Shema, who was then previously the national legal advisor of PDP. Shema performed, and based on that performance and being an incumbent, he was able to defeat Aminu Masarugbe. But all has changed. The people of Katsina State, by this victory of Aminu Masarugbe, is saying, we don't want to lose our contact with the center. We still want to belong to the party that is at the center. And don't also forget that Ibrahim Shema has become a lame duck. Having served that in second term, you are not as powerful as when you are still an incumbent. The moment you are aware of, you don't control the levers of power the same way as if you were to be an incumbent running for a second term. That is proven. So a number of factors work in Aminu Masarugbe or APC's favor. APC is now stronger. APC is now more formidable. The incumbent governor is having at the second time. We don't know how popular Musa Namshuri is. Whether there are even rancorous primaries arising from this nomination. Because all of these factors play out in electoral victory ultimately.
So ultimately, I mean, you're also believing that this is a matter of sentiments, as opposed to
a number of sentiments
what I think at the point is that there's a change of position in this state. Honestly, when Katsina was in new PDP state, things were going for Shema really. But what I think, apart from the fact that the center has now changed and there's need to also key in, I also think Masari himself, having lost to Shema previously, is also a good time to actually give him the opportunity this time around. And Masari, if you know Masari from the House of Reps, he's been on this side, on this position, he's been doing very well. He has good track records and he's very consistent with this. I think one of the foremost people on this side of the APC. What I think,
Aminu Masari was a speaker under PDP.
Exactly. But I mean, when the APC emerged, he was one of the earliest people that joined. Okay. It's not like he's just responding to others, But he did that. But what I'm saying is, there is a combination of his personal attributes, and the fact that the center and the state, things will work well for the state now that the major factor that Buhari is from Katsina is also the issue. And there's absolutely no reason why you want to reject APC now that the APC of the center. It makes look at it both party-wise and individuals. It's all work for Katsina. So I think that's a good reason for him.
But isn't there something about Masari that he shares with the president-elect? I mean, his doggedness. Exactly. He's been trying to rule Katsina State for quite a while.
He's been very, very consistent, yes.
Anyway, I know that Barrister Uzi,
and he's in the good
I wouldn't bring you in here, but I would also bring in
CP or but but just talking about security, from Katsina State really. Don't have much headaches about
when it concerns election. We only have issues about cattle wrestling and all that, which we are dealing with. And we are at peace with them and we like what they're doing in the region there.
But I think there were issues in one local government. In this election, I think there were cancellation of violence in one or two wards in the local government. But nothing, I think it's isolated.
But let us go back to, we're talking about the issue of money in politics, and the question I really want to ask you,
Okay.
you know, is there a price that we pay? In fact, first of all, let me first of all, how much was money an issue in this election?
You need to put it in context. I wrote something last week about the limiting factor of money in Nigerian politics. A lot of us think the more you are likely going to, your chances of victory will be enhanced. Empirical studies have not proven that. You may have a very deep pocket, you may be a Dangote, and people will collect your money and not vote for you. It goes beyond deep pocket. And we saw it at the presidential level. You know how much was spent on campaigns, adverts, and everything. If it were to be in terms of money, can OPC match PVP in terms of resources?
Just a minute, do you think really that the expenditure you're talking about, you know, that it's really what goes on adverts and all that? Do you think?
No, it goes beyond that. This issue of stomach infrastructure is part of it. The lexicon of stomach infrastructure, where people parcel rice, whether cooked or uncooked, Indomie noodles, you give people t-shirts and face cap, the recharge card and the rest of it. All this stomach infrastructure is part of election expenses and is criminalized by Section 124 of the Electoral Act. Ordinarily, I've been involved in a lot of sensitization and education on this issue of campaign finance. It does not do our polity any word of good. Now you have situation.
Let's hold on. I mean,
Because right now we have the PDP governorship candidate in Nasarawa State Live. Honorable Yusuf Agabi, can you hear us in the studio? Okay, so could you just give us your reaction to the gubernatorial election? Yes, we'd like to have your reaction to the gubernatorial election in your state.
Again, I don't know whether I have to use my hands to you.
I can hear you loud and clear. You're so loud, it seems as if you're next room to me.
Huh? Can I call you?
I can hear you. You know, you're so loud. We can all hear you in the studio.
I can't hear you really well at all.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll try to get back to you shortly. Thank you very much. Well, we're trying to establish a link with Honorable Yusuf Agabi, the PDP governorship candidate in the election in Nasarawa State. Now we'll just continue with but maybe just before the meeting, let's really get to Kaduna State. And the report we're getting from Kaduna State indicates that Governor Mukhtar has put a call through to the APC candidate Malam Nasir El-Rufai to concede victory in the election in Kaduna State. Governor Yoro confirmed this to our correspondent in Kaduna. This report is just coming in. Let's see if we can take it now. Do you have that report? Well, Alice, this was ties in with some of the reports I've been getting about the fact that the president blazed the trail, which you know it seems to be catching on across the country. I guess earlier on, you talked about one of these reports that came in earlier.
But the Susan calling to congratulate Samaloto in Benue, and that's the first of Ramala. The outgoing governor of Kaduna State has also related, which is good for our polity, because like the Commissioner of Police has said, the moment the leadership concede defeat, the followership has to go and foment trouble. Because on whose behalf are you going to do that? On whose behalf? the point is that your neighbor has considered defeat, then life goes on. You lose today, you may gain tomorrow.
Okay, fine. Hello, Honorable Yusuf Agabi. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Yes, we are on to the NTA studios on Nigeria Decides, and we'd like to hear your comments on the elections in Nasarawa State.
Okay, thank you very much. The elections in Nasarawa State were peacefully conducted. Everybody went about his business very well. People came out in mass, in large number to vote. And the result available, I think I have to proceed to the incumbent governor, Alhaji Tanko Almakura, who has proved so far the government out of the 13 local government in Nasarawa State. So I think that is the situation that it is as of now.
Okay, so what do you think about the performance of INEC in the elections?
Well, INEC tried their best. They are working on improvement for what we saw in the 28th March presidential election. This time around, the card reader worked very well, and people were given the opportunity pretty well to exercise their franchise. And I think happy with the turnout and the results of what transpired.
Yeah, so that means that you feel that this has been a very credible process that needs to be commended.
Yes, it's okay, and everybody is happy. The results really spoke for itself, and I think I have every reason to consider this situation to Dango Makura. So it's a successful election.
Thank you very much for your call. Honorable Agabi, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I want to just to get rid of the shopping center for my views.
Thank you, gentlemen. That was the PDP candidate in Nasarawa. Let me first of all talk to CPO because that's slightly unprecedented. I mean, with regards to Nasarawa State.
We can see that one of the sensitive spots. We don't have much crime-wise as regards election. Even though we had the communal clashes we've been having in that area. But so far so good. One of the candidates is now it's considering victory or defeat, as the case may be. And as well, I wanted to. I wish it will continue. That trend will continue, so that our job will be lessened. We really need to rest. The police has been
I mean, one thing that actually struck me there was we've talked a lot about politicians and how they react to elections. I mean, he spoke so well about the process, INEC and all that. That must have been touching.
It was gracious of him to concede defeat. It was gracious of him to not unduly criticize or look for excuses. I noticed that he chose his words very carefully in doing so, but at least he has considered defeat. And it's a welcome development that can only be good for the process. I'm sure we have not shut out, or others have not shut out the possibility of going to the tribunals or deciding the rights as recognized by the law, and that's the way it should be. In a democracy, you must respect state institutions and utilize those state institutions to achieve goals. And in this country, several elections have been overturned by tribunals. I think that's keeping faith with all the institutions, not just the security forces, electoral management body, but the judiciary as an institution for settling electoral disputes as well. So I'm happy that this trend has become fixed.
Well, typically, the CPNG said right back that at least it has used the issues for the police. But at the same time also, if it is credible, it also makes the job easier for the judiciary, doesn't it?
Well, that's why I said we are likely to see tribunal that will be less busy. Maybe they will need to collapse the instituted tribunal. The lack of someone to do. Well, we've been lacking is somebody to show the way. Of course, since the president has done this, the effect has been wonderful. Others are following. There's no big deal. Election is 4 years.
Okay, I must wind you up now because after all the signs, signs from my director that it's about time that we wind up. Let me first of all thank you, Judy, for coming on. You've been with us, for so long. I will thank you for keeping faith with us. And Cynthia Juku, I like seeing your uniform always. Yeah, this gives me confidence that I'm protected always.
Thank you.
Chibuke, thank you very much.
Thanks for keeping
and Pastor Uzi, well, maybe let's see if again Nigeria decides some other time. Thank you. Well, you've been watching Nigeria Decides coming to you from the NTA. We thank you very much for staying with us, and we'll see you again. Thank you.